What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we're doing the ACC today. So we're going to begin by looking at a recap of Week 3 of the season here in the ACC. We'll have our power rankings later, and then our look ahead to Week 4 of the college football season in the ACC. So let's go ahead and get to these games. We're going to start things off with Oklahoma State at Pittsburgh. Oklahoma State was very dominant in this game. It was never any doubt who was going to win this one. Oklahoma State kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, or it could have been even worse. I mean, they were dominating both sides of the ball. Their defense was even playing well. Pittsburgh has some serious problems. Their defense is very bad. Their offense is not real good. I mean, just across the board, Pittsburgh is not looking like a good team this year, and that's kind of what I thought coming into this season. They lost a lot of players from last year, so it looks like Pittsburgh is going to be down near the bottom of the ACC. Probably not going to make a bowl game. UConn at Virginia. Virginia with a pretty good win here, 38-18. Benkert had 455 yards, 3 touchdowns, a big game from him. And Virginia now showing some signs of life, winning this game. They got Boise State Friday now. That's going to be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I was really impressed with Virginia. UConn, not a powerhouse team or anything like that, but still to go out and win like this against an American team, that's pretty good. So Virginia with a big win there. Maybe they get some confidence going after that one. NC State over Furman, 49-16. Yeah, this one, there's not much to say about this one. Furman's 0-3, so it's not like this was not really that impressive of a win. NC State, they got Florida State coming up. That's going to be a good one this weekend. They're going to have a chance to prove that they belong in the conversation in the ACC, but they're going to have to win that one against Florida State. Everyone chasing Clemson right now, though. That's for sure. So Baylor at Duke. It looks like Duke's the real deal. I thought Baylor, I knew they would come out in this game playing well, and I thought they did. I thought Baylor really put everything they had into this game, but Duke was just the better team. And Duke is just rolling right now as they win this one by 14. You look at this game, their big win over Northwestern. If they can knock off North Carolina this weekend, we could be talking about Duke getting up there with Miami and Virginia Tech in the Coastal Division as potential players, to get to that ACC championship. So very impressed with Duke so far, but a much tougher test against North Carolina. At least you have to figure. North Carolina not looking great either. Wake Forest with a big win over Utah State, 46-10. John Wolford is looking good right now, 242 yards in this one, 2 touchdowns. He's putting up pretty good numbers. Utah State's not a horrible team, so this is a big win. Wake Forest, they're looking like they could make some noise in the ACC. So we're seeing some teams, flip around from what we've seen just a few years ago with Wake Forest and Duke now on the rise. And I'm trying to think, seeing if there's somebody else, but yeah, those two teams are looking pretty good. Notre Dame defeats Boston College 49-20. I actually had higher expectations for Boston College coming into this year. I thought they were going to be, a pretty decent team, an improved team, a team with a good defense. And I thought they might be a little bit better on offense, but it just doesn't look like they're good on any side of the ball. This game was close for a while. Notre Dame struggled a little bit early on, but Brandon Wimbush and company, they wound up pulling away late and winning this one 49-20. So that's a big win for Notre Dame. But as Boston College looks like they are going to be one of the weaker teams in the ACC. A lot of teams in the ACC not looking good right now. The depth of this conference is just not looking too good this year. Virginia Tech against East Carolina. The Hokies win at 64-17. Jackson at quarterback, 5 touchdowns, 372 yards. He has been really impressive. Him and Kelly Bryant from Clemson, 2 guys that I didn't know. Didn't know for sure that they would be all that great this year, but both guys have been really good. And Virginia Tech is on a roll right now. They struggled a little bit early on in this game, but they pulled away in a big way, 64 points. So now not only do they have a good defense, they got a good offense as well. Virginia Tech looking like maybe a top 10 team. And here we go, North Carolina at Old Dominion. North Carolina, I actually picked Old Dominion to pull off this upset, so that was a pretty dumb pick by me. North Carolina finally got it going. They put up 53 points. Defense is still not great. I mean, they gave up 23 points to Old Dominion, who's a pretty good team. I picked them to win this game. But the offense, it's looking pretty good right now, honestly. It's just the defense that needs to get better. And North Carolina is one of those teams that's probably going to get better as the season goes. Central Michigan against Syracuse. Big win for Syracuse, 41-17. Dungy played good, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. Central Michigan, not a bad team. They were coming off a win, I believe, over Kansas, a pretty convincing win as well. So this was a nice win for Syracuse. Not that they won it, but that they won it convincingly. 24 points there. So that says a lot about Syracuse, and maybe, who knows, maybe they'll put up a fight against LSU this weekend. It's not likely, but you never know. And now let's get to the big game, the game of the week in the ACC. Clemson against Louisville. Clemson blows them out. And going into this game, I didn't make a pick on my video last week, but I wound up going with Clemson. And you knew coming in, Clemson was the better team. Their defense is absolutely loaded. The offense is playing really well right now. You knew Clemson was the better team. But I thought that the Louisville defense might step up, playing at home, feeding off the crowd. Sometimes in a big game, the defense can play above themselves at home, night game, the blackout, all of that going on. So I really expected Louisville's defense to play better. I thought they probably would score about 21 points, but I didn't know if Clemson would score this much. And 47 points, geez. They had, the one pick six. I think the rest of their points came off of the offense, though. And they didn't even play the starters the whole game. So this one got ugly pretty quick. And it's just clear to me that Clemson's the best team in college football right now. Alabama, maybe Oklahoma as well. There's some other really good teams. But as far as the ACC goes, that's what I meant to say. Clemson is clearly the best team in the ACC. And nationally, they are one of the top teams for sure. Clemson, of course, you know about them, but Louisville, how good are they? They've only got that one win over North Carolina. I don't know for sure about this team. That defense is just not very good right now. Lamar Jackson's going to put up the big numbers. But they need a little bit more out of their defense if they're going to contend and maybe get second place in the division. I don't see anybody beating Clemson, though, for the Atlantic Division. The standings updated now. We've got Clemson and Wake Forest both 1-0, Louisville 1-1, Boston College 0-1. I just like to kind of look at this, see who scored the most points. Wake Forest has scored the most points, 131 points. Wow. Clemson 117. Several high-scoring offenses there. Defensively, Wake Forest is in the lead for that, 27. They haven't really played anybody, though, so can't read too much into that. Over in the Coastal Division, the only team that's played a conference game is North Carolina. They are 0-1. Let's see who scored the most points. Duke has scored the most points. Virginia Tech, though, not far behind them. And the Miami defense is number 1, but they've only played one game. And it was against Bethune-Cookman, so you definitely can't read into that. The Pittsburgh defense and the North Carolina defense are struggling. They've both given up over 100 points. Virginia Tech looking pretty good, and Duke as well. So right now, it kind of looks like Duke and Virginia Tech might be the best two teams in this division. Miami, we really don't know a whole lot about, so they could be up there as well. And I think Georgia Tech is a team to watch also. But Virginia, Pitt, and North Carolina, to me, I just don't see them contending based off of what we've seen so far. It's a long season, though. Teams get better, and we'll see how much improvement these teams make. Pittsburgh's played a couple of really good teams in Oklahoma State and Penn State. So maybe that helps them get better, and we'll see how it goes. But there you go. That's going to do it for our recap of Week 3 in the ACC. Again, later today we'll have our ACC Power Rankings and our preview for Week 4 in the ACC. So thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.